Hi everyone, this is Jing, the owner of a Trilingual Mind. I'm fluent in English, Chinese and Japanese, all at business levels, both written and spoken. In my video today, I'm going to talk about my thinking language because quite often people ask me, which language do you think in? Do you have a dominant language? And actually that's not a straightforward question to answer. When I went to Japan from China at the age of 5, my parents weren't sure how quickly I would fit in there. Their worries disappeared the first time they heard me sleep talk in Japanese, and they knew that I would be okay. And by the age of 12, my thinking language was certainly Japanese, and my Chinese was pretty basic, to say the least. And then I went back to China from Japan at the age of 12, and the Chinese language started dominating more and more parts of my brain until the age of 19 when I moved to the UK. If we forget about the science of the brain just for the time being, I can almost picture my brain with different territories occupied by Japanese, Chinese and English, perhaps with a national flag flying on top of each territory. The basic rule is that I don't actively convert from one language to another unless I'm specifically asked to. This means that it's hard for me to say what my dominant language is. I'll give you a few examples. In my daily life, because I live in London and English is the easiest language for me to think about what's going on around me, that's kind of my dominant language at the moment for my daily life. Now, for things in the kitchen, this is a funny one. Chinese is the only language in which I know the names of kitchen stuff more or less accurately. When I was at university, I lived with 4 English girls, and they tried to help me improve my kitchen vocabulary English, but they didn't manage to perfect it. Now, about UK taxation, just because I was trained as a tax advisor upon graduating from university, English is definitely the easiest, although I do use Chinese and Japanese while working as a tax advisor as well. I really like Japanese cartoons, and I still love watching the cartoons like Sazae-san and Detective Conan, which I used to watch as a child, and Japanese is my only language for cartoons. And finally, for math, I talked about this in my other video, and basically my primary language for mathematics can be either Japanese or Chinese depending on what I do. Now, do multilingual people always have a dominant language? The answer, based on my own experience, is that I do have a dominant language for each topic area, but not necessarily an overall dominant language. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, please do visit my website at www.trilingualmind.com.